Afrofuturism is the practice of using African and diasporic culture to imagine the futures we deserve.
It weaves memory across the diaspora into a global creative network.
To shape new futures through imagination, creativity, and design.
It envisions communities empowered by innovation, healing, and possibility.
I have always loved hip hop, period. I'm a game developer, and I look at making games in the same way producers, writers, graph artists. You know, to quote Yassine Bey, I am hip hop because it's the culture. It's something that's from within you. It's something that can't be replicated. People try to imitate it, but it's not real. So how I'm gonna start this is a quote, because when I do presentations, these are my bars, if you would. So to understand my mindset, when I start to think, then I sink into the paper like I was ink. When I'm right, I am trapped in between the lines. I escape when I finish the rhyme. How many people know where that came from? Ooh. Would someone like to share who said that? Rakim Allah. Yes, Rakim said it, but who else said it? Most Def, yes. I had to make sure. You know, it is what it is. Because it's a little emotional for me, because when I was at university, I came out here to visit my brother that went to Howard. And so it was homecoming, you know, I'm from the Midwest, drove out here with my guy, and I was sitting down, I was chilling and waiting, and right next to me was Mos. Word? I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the biggest fan of him. I remember him from Bush Babies. Ironic, right? And right. But my brother, he was on the street team for Rocky. And so I got an early copy of Black on Both Sides. And when I went back, I played the bejesus out of it. So I got to meet Mos. I also got to meet Pharoah Monch. Met Wu-Tang. It was just spectacular. And so watching how they build rhymes and how I do my craft is one and the same. So that's why I start off with that. So my talk, Afrofuturism in the Age of AI. Yes, I am Malcolm Williams. And I've done a lot of different things. It's probably easier just to find me on LinkedIn. If you look me up, you're like, hey, he did a TED Talk in Finland. Yes, I did a TED Talk. I was at AWE and I was speaking, you know, introducing Google and those cats. Once again, just be that dude, because one thing about hip hop is about being authentic. It's not about the degree, it's not about the papers, it's not about the rhetoric. Are you real? You can't be studio. And that's how I feel about technology. That's also how I feel about AI. So, Afrofuturism. You know, we gotta start with our baseline, of course. It's the practice of using African and diasporic culture, imagination, and ancestral knowledge. And technically, y'all can read it for yourself. I'm just gonna talk about it. Because it's about connecting with the audience. So, some people hear that term and they're like, what do you mean? Well, how many people remember the Flintstones? How much melanin was in the Flintstones? Right? Okay. Let's take it to the future. Let's go to the Jetsons. So if we're not in the Flintstones and we're not in the Jetsons, where are we? Well, we just pop up out of a different dimension? Nah. So it's like, nah, that's not what we did. So they tried to put us in this box across science fiction, digital media, architecture, fashion, and community design. That's that social engineering that's real slick. And I couldn't go for it. As a kid, I was able to peep game and game recognized game. So we ain't doing that. So yeah, I gave him boom, boom. I gave him warning shots. As AI evolves, some of these cats, I'm sorry, I changed my vernacular. Some of these individuals, they will go ahead and try to put us in. Nah, I'm just gonna be real. So they only want to use AI for a limited piece in the box. So when she asked me, what all can you do with AI? I felt that was a loaded question because what I do with AI is completely different. When I did my talk at AWE, that was my takeaway, that you actually had a GPT that communicated back and forth to you about who Malcolm was and how he actually created a platform for parents to have a guide to actually learn how to use STEM as a bridge, actually gaming as a bridge for STEM education. It's a platform. So many parents don't understand how they can actually use that. I taught game-based learning. So therefore, we can talk about trajectory by using Battleship. We can talk about how, if you're playing Call of Duty and and you're gonna shoot, are you gonna shoot up in the air a little bit above or a little bit ahead? You gotta lead them. Why? Because trajectory. But some of our kids don't know what trajectory is, but they know how to have an ill jumper. So that's when we start to talk about how we can actually change, once again, the vernacular so it connects to the people. It's a blueprint of how culture, creativity, technology can collaborate to close this gap. So if you think about the example that I was giving, that's exactly what I was doing. So let's fly away, Birdie. Fly away.
Control-Alt-Delete, rewriting scenes, black and brown youth, chasing their dreams, hacking the code in the realms of STEM, flipping the script, we won't be hemmed.
Silicon circuits, unity and diversity, breaking the barriers, pushing creativity, network uprising, pixelated uprising, in the code we trust, together we're rising, matrix of hope, intertwined in this mission, STEM and hip-hop, forming a collision, rhyme over rhythms, crafting algorithms, writing our own path, destiny's not given, it's coded in our visions, we clear the aftermath, grit forged in struggle, every bite and boggle, defined by no system but the ones we script, brilliance in our grasp, futures of canvas, painted with our data streams, binary fusion, propelling dreams with laser beams, culture and tech blend, a symphony in cyber scenes, creating new dimensions, breaking through the smoky screens, each click a revolution, each rhyme a resolution, with every hack, every track, creating our own institution.
We code in dreams, our imagination. Think about what we're doing right now with our AR. We've been playing around with AR, right? You got your MR, AR, VR, correct? How many people have used it? A few. Okay. Well, as a kid, I've always visualized how I used to write numbers in the air to do my math and never wanted to show work on paper. They made me feel like I was weird. So now, once mixed reality came about, not to grab a prop, apology, but I literally travel with my digital office. Yes, it's a stylish office that I'm carrying. Well, for me and how I work, I always have my headset. Always. Yes, and it's for mixed reality so I can see people and do whatever I need to do because that's how I operate. How many people use those Samsung super wide screens? One person. Did you know if you use that, it actually automatically connects to your Windows and now you can actually have 3 of those. Think about your productivity. But without information and understanding that's being shared with our community, we don't even know we can use that versus behind a big screen. We can bring in, why do you have an avatar that's rocking your logo? Because I also design my own clothing inside the metaverse. Think about how many cats up in Brooklyn and Harlem that sells kicks on the side of the street. I designed the entire outfit. Yes, that's real. So right here, this is a brother, Rakeem Miles. You can look him up. He has a partnership with K-Swiss. How many black designers that's also rappers have their own shoe deal? I support black artists, and the ill thing about making your own clothes, how many people send stickers inside of IG, Facebook, WhatsApp? My stickers have my clothing. So therefore, I can advertise, and if you actually scan this, you can actually see how you can buy the shirt for your avatar. That gives you access to 3.8 billion people. Imagine about the different businesses that you can actually start running. So, what else do you do? Well, you gotta be black on both sides. Another reference, of course. Because the first time I stepped into the VR world, I saw it like, wow. I saw culture waiting to be preserved in pixels. Because you can create anything. We code in dreams. The only limitation you're gonna have is whatever the limitation of your imagination is. Prompts. We grew up with Choose Your Own Adventures. We had to use our imagination. We had to turn through the pages. Guess what? My prompt literally will take you through your own adventures. I have people from different universities hit me up because they use it for their students to help them with their writing. Like, man, I couldn't come up with an idea. It'll go ahead and give you a whole story. And this is actually a whole environment that I created inside Meta Horizon World that is like a Neo version of Nairobi. And then you got birds, and I generated it all with AI. So not only can you explore that on your phone, on your desktop, you can also explore inside of VR. So you have 3 platforms that you can do that was all generated with AI. This is the barbershop that we chop it up. And that's real. So like, you can buy clothes, you can sit up there, we talk about music, movies, and everything. We have men clubs up inside this piece. So that's just what you can do. We don't have to limit ourselves because, once again, it's your limitation of the potential of what we can actually produce. So the technology diaspora, there's a risk. If AI adoption continues without cultural grounding, it doesn't matter if you're in the desert or if you got somewhere that looks lush. The digital natives and our digital immigrants are going to have a technological rift. We need to partner and work together to bring the tracks back together. And that's what it really is. Because, we have too many passive consumers and not enough active architects. We have to create. So, my intervisions like Stevie, these are actually different stories that I made. And they already starting to work with animations. Yes, it's good to have the communities for it, but in the future, why can't we have our own Netflix? Because if you think about what Tyler Perry did, he already gave us the blueprint of how we can flip it. But if you watch my TED Talk, I talk about it there too.
Street haggling, villain, his agenda.
Being that you loved his music and you knew the technology, he would have appreciated it. And so, boom. That is Malcolm in a nutshell. Hip hop and technology, it's right here. Be blessed.